I stand this way. It's on this way.
Good morning. My name is Debra. I'm the President and CEO for the North San Diego Business Chamber, and we're pleased to bring to you today some updated announcements and ways to navigate through this unprecedented crisis that we're having. We're really excited to have with us today County Supervisor Desmond, County Supervisor Kristin Gaspar, Small Business Owner Peter Zien, owner of AleSmith, and our San Diego County Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Yphantides. You'll find that most of them have two stories to share with you, both personal and as one of our elected officials and a leader in the region. Today, we understand everybody's been impacted by the COVID-19, and we really want to share with you the fact that we understand, we know everybody's struggling, and we've got leaders here in the county that are working with all of us to make sure that we can work with you and we're there as a support mechanism. We know businesses have been forced to close. A lot of people have lost their jobs. They've been furloughed. And with all this happening, now is a really good time for us to come together. So without further ado, I'm really excited to introduce to you County Supervisor Desmond, Desmond, and I also want to let you know that we are standing 6 feet apart to stay within the mandate, so you won't see everybody up here with me. We will be bringing them up one at a time. So, Supervisor Desmond, can you share with us what's happening both on a personal level and a professional level?
Absolutely. Well, hello everyone, and I know you're all watching here to gather as much information as you possibly can here on the coronavirus and what we're doing in San Diego County. And what I want to do is bring you up to date, give you a few facts here first of what where we are stand today. There's a total of 55 cases in San Diego County. 47 of those cases are San Diego County residents, 4 are from federal quarantines from Miramar, and 4 are non-residents. So 55 cases in San Diego County. In the U.S., currently there's over 4,000 cases, and 1 week ago that was only 600. So this is continuing to grow day by day. Yesterday, just to catch up on the Board of Supervisors had announced, or the county had announced, prohibiting public or private gatherings of more than 50 people, and expect that to possibly go down. Bars and businesses that serve alcohol and not food are being closed, and restaurants are going to be pickup delivery only. So there's no dining at restaurants, and all non-essential personnel are prohibited from entering a hospital or any long-term care facilities. If you're 65 or older, I'm just under, and you have chronic or underlying conditions or have a compromised immune system, we're asking people to self-quarantine themselves. Senior citizens are our #1 growing population in North County and in all of San Diego County. And we must do what we can to help them in these difficult times. If you have a neighbor or somebody that needs help, or somebody needs groceries, or they need assistance, or you're not quite sure where to get assistance, if you can help your neighbors, maybe with grocery shopping. But if you really want somebody to talk to, call 211. 211, call them. They will be able to direct you with your question to the right and appropriate folks. Also, as Bart has mentioned earlier today, is that keep the 6 feet distance apart. I'm going to say Debra had said earlier, we want to make sure that you keep your 6 foot distance apart from everybody else. On a personal note, on the weekends, I've been an airline pilot for 34 years with Delta Airlines, and I've been flying to Hawaii back and forth over the last couple of weekends. And a couple of things I've noticed: some people are wearing masks, not all. Yes, the airplane's air is filtered. However, you got to always exercise extreme caution. I've seen people before they sit down in their seats and their little TV screen in front of them, they get out the baby wipes and they put the baby wipes over the screen, and they do it over the armrests and things like that, and kind of sanitize the seat before they get on there. I've had 2 of the flights back and forth to Hawaii. They're about 3/4 full. So actually, we did have somebody that had the sniffles, and somebody wanted to move away from them. We were actually able to put them in a couple empty seats. So airport's about half full here lately, and I expect that's going to diminish here in the future. But I know Delta Airlines, who I fly for, next month we're decreasing our amount of flying by about 40% at Delta Airlines, and I think other airlines are going to be doing the same. So travel is still going on right now, and just be safe, be clean, Bring your baby wipes, bring your, keep your hands cleaned, and we're going to get through this. We're going to get through it together, and we all got to play our part. And I'm happy to introduce our next speaker. It's going to be Supervisor Kristin Gaspar. She's going to tell us a little about her experiences as well, and also some helpful tips for you at home. Thank you very much. Kristin.
Well, thank you, Jim. Good morning. It's a pleasure to join you today. Although via the computer might not be as personal, it's really great that we have these opportunities to engage with people back out in the community. I want to share with you a couple stories today because, yes, I'm the county supervisor, very proud to represent District 3, but at the same time, I'm a mom and a business owner too. And this is a really challenging time for all of us. And it's something that personally has been challenging for my family and my business, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about that. Number one, as a parent, we all know we're impacted by the school closures. Some of the information that went out by the school districts was less than ideal. Some of it was really wonderful. I want to make sure that our parents understand that this is not an early summer vacation. And I know there's been some mixed messages with the kids, and they were all really excited to learn that they had a couple extra weeks off of school. But it's important that we communicate the right messages at home. It's important that you understand this isn't an extended break. This is a public health crisis that we are trying to deal with. We're trying to come together as a community. So please help your kids understand how they can help play a role as well. The kids are bored. Let's face it. We live in San Diego County. There are so many activities to do out and about. So it's pretty unusual for our kiddos to be inside the home. So when you look around and you see that we don't have reported cases coming in of young people sick, you might be thinking that it's okay to have people come over. It's okay to continue with birthday parties. It's okay to have play dates happening in the home. That can't be happening in the community. It's been a really tough message to communicate to my own children, so I can only imagine what that looks like for years. They simply do not understand. We have to limit the amount of exposure at this time to the family unit. So it's a great time to come together as a family and maybe do some things that you haven't done before. Get the kids together, play a board game, take some time to read, play a video game together. It's important that our kids, we're trying to keep them off their electronic devices. Let them have some time too. And I understand it's going to be challenging to keep these rules in place, but it's very important for the community. I was shocked one day when I came home and there were 10 middle schoolers at my house. 10 kids had been dropped off by their parents, not with permission for me to do so. It's really tough for the middle school, the high school population. They're used to being really social. They're used to going out in large packs. Please don't send your middle schoolers, your high schoolers out to shopping centers to loiter and hang out together. Please keep them home too. For us that have that age population, that middle school population at home, this can be extremely challenging, but do your best to keep your family together and not inviting others into the home at this time. I want to share with you the challenges as a business owner because I know our businesses are struggling. And we've been really scared as business owners too because it's unclear what tomorrow will bring. But at the same time, I know we've faced challenges in our business before, and it's our employees that have come together and they've helped us solve some of the most complex challenges that we've been through. So at this time, make sure that you're finding ways to communicate fully with your team. You probably won't be able to do it in the regular way around a conference table, but get on a conference call and make sure you're communicating early and often. For us as business owners, we think a lot about our employees. It's not just about us. There are 150 people within our own small business that rely on us every day to keep the doors open. It's looking like those doors are closing more and more every day, but now the goal has to be to get them reopened once we pass through this public health crisis. We're going to need to come together not only within our own business community, we're going to need to lean on one another, we're going to need to ask a lot of questions of one another, and I want you to know I'm always available to hear your concerns that you have for your own particular industry. Just this morning I heard from the Restaurant Association. They came forward and had a list of things, ideas in mind where the county could help them. Please communicate with your elected leaders at this time. We are available. We want to know what are industry-specific things that we as a county can help support you on. I'm convinced that if we come together, if we take these orders seriously, if we listen to the medical community, we will come out stronger as San Diegans and all across this country. We need your help. I need your help too, and please know we're in this together. At this time, I want to introduce another wonderful local business owner. Peter's coming forward from AleSmith. Good morning, Peter. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, I usually enjoy speaking about my favorite subject, beer, but today we face the sobering reality of a major crisis. And as a small business owner, a family-owned business, every business has specific challenges. So I'd like to just share a little bit about what AleSmith's going through, but we do share a lot in common, such as let's do this, the bad and the good. Okay, so I'm going to start with a little bit of the bad. We're looking at a revenue drop of conservatively 35%. Our customers are disappearing at the restaurants and the bars that drink our draft products, as well as our tasting room. So we are still doing drive-through service. Our packaged product is still for sale. We're a manufacturing facility, and that's still going well. And then let's talk about the employees. Businesses are made up of numbers, but my wife and I do have a pretty big heart. We love our crew, and we want the best for them. We celebrate diversity at AleSmith. We have a number of low-income housing employees, as well as refugee groups such as the Lost Boys of Sudan, that work for us, and we want the best for them. So we're looking at all the options available before we ever have to mention the L word. And so far, so good. So we have none of that going on right now. We can repurpose some of these positions and keep our staff motivated and jamming, because people still need their beer. And we're going to do our part to keep San Diegans and the rest of the country in beer. What else we got going on? So the loss of revenue is really from event space. Without gatherings, we lose a large portion of that revenue. The tasting room's down. And then, the wholesale customers are down. So the distributors not ordering affects us. And there was a statistic that for every one brewery employee in San Diego, there's 5 other ancillary businesses that employ, such as the people that make our bottles and our cans and the labels and the artists and things like that. So it's just a ripple effect that's going to go down, and anything interfering with our supply chain is also going to cause another hit on that. So that's the bad so far. Let's talk about a little bit of the good. On the flip side, we want to just keep our transparency of communication open. A lot of young employees, a lot of people, they want to know the information. We're trying to be as prudent as we can and be as responsible as we can. It's easy to hear rumors going around, so we're having frequent meetings right now. We're doing them all by phone or in groups of less than 5 at the brewery. It's an opportunity for us to shine as far as how we treat our wholesale partners, our vendors, our suppliers, offer the highest level of service, and to our customers. We're trying to use our strongest muscle, the brain, to figure out how to get over some of these hurdles. And one of them is like a drive-up service. People can come, order beer, we can bring it to you and load up your car. So small business owners, we have to just think about what we can do to keep driving our business. People still need stuff. We're Americans. We're the most robust country, full of so much good. And right now is an opportunity for us to shine. It could turn out to be our finest hour. So we're trying to stay motivated and strong, and paying attention to the news and to the experts that have more information than we're ever going to know about it. I'd like to see city, county, state, and federal agencies step up. They are, from what I'm hearing, and make themselves available for us to help our employees and to help our suppliers, vendors, and everyone who's in the stream of business to continue. And also small businesses, opportunities to think this through and see which other small businesses that you can work with. And together we lock arms and we'll get through this together. Breweries have been known for the camaraderie that we have here in San Diego. San Diego has been an amazing county for breweries. When we started at AleSmith, there were 3 breweries. There's 160 now. So in our 25th year, facing a major challenge, but we're in the same boat as everyone else, and we want to do our part to lift the community and lift the economics of San Diego. And when it's ready to flip the switch to go again, which will come, we have to think about that too. So small business, prepare for the worst, but hope for the best, and we'll get through this. So at this point, I would like to introduce, get some medical information on this. So we have Dr. Nick joining us.
Thank you so much, Steve. The irony is not lost on me that I, as your Chief Medical Officer, am standing before you at this moment in front of a chamber sign. You know, the essence of Live Well San Diego is really about keeping our region healthy, safe, and thriving. And that concept of collective impact and all of us coming together applies in the days of calm, and it certainly applies in the days of crisis as well. So I am blessed to be able to be part of this and want to say thank you to Debra and all of the members of the Chamber for realizing the importance alignment that exists between health and that is inclusive of physical health as well as commercial and commerce health. I've been asked to quickly put this a little bit in the context, as all of us have, with a little bit of a personal touch. You know, in 2009, the last time the world faced a pandemic, as irony would have it, my own father was the third confirmed fatality as a result of complications from H1N1. And so this issue, for me, as it is for all of us, is one of deep passion, deep conviction, because we're all eager to prevent the preventable. And realizing that at this moment, I'm standing before you all as business leaders in our community, I am very mindful, we all are, about the impacts that this has on economic security. But folks, there's a needle to be thread and a balance, and what we are advocating and fighting for is the health and wellness security of our region as well. I have no interest in repeating information that you have already heard. Supervisor Desmond gave an overview of some of our recent numbers. Folks, it is important not to be alarmed about this, but it is important to know that that number that you heard in terms of the total number of cases in our community is probably a fraction of the reality of what is currently happening. The point that we are in now and the things that we are doing, and under the leadership yesterday of Dr. Wooten, the announcements that were made in terms of the interventions, they are very intentional, not just to protect the health and wellness of our community, but to protect the capacity of our healthcare delivery system to provide the care when it is needed to those who need it the most. And so I just quickly want to acknowledge, and again, I'm not going to repeat anything, but these directives and the strong urgements, which in all likelihood could become even more deliberate in the coming days, are all designed for the collective protection of the health and wellness of our region, as well as the health and capacity of our local system to respond, especially to those who need it the most. With that, and being mindful that a lot of you have heard a lot of information, what I would love to do, if it's appropriate, Debra, at this point, is to pause and allow us to transition to the point of answering questions, or no questions? Okay. Are we wrapping it up? Should I give it back to you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nick. So first of all, we want to apologize to everybody that tried to watch this through Facebook Live. While we have reached our capacity for Zoom, people watching it live stream, thank you so much for joining us. Facebook Live did not connect and cooperate. So thank you to Dr. Nick, to Peter Zien, to County Supervisor Jim Desmond, and Kristin Gaspar for joining us. If you have any questions, we will be taking those questions today via email. We'll push them out to our speakers, and we'll ask our speakers to answer them, and we'll post those answers on our Facebook as they come in. So again, thank you everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. We wanted to keep this short. North San Diego Business Chamber is staying open for business. We are not closing. Our employees will be working from home, but every single one of us will be reaching out to our members one-on-one with phone calls to make sure you're okay, make sure you don't, if you need support on anything, we're there for you. If you call the chamber office, it will be automatically directed to our cell phones, so you will get a live person. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our supervisors, Dr. Nick, Peter. We really appreciate it. We know it's a tough time, but I believe too that there will be lemonade from these lemons, and life will be different, but I think it will be stronger because crisis brings everyone together. So thank you so much for joining us today.